What is going on, guys? I hope you've had an awesome day so far. Today, I'm going to take you through an amazing productivity planning training. You know me, I love productivity. I love planning. I love routine. I love discipline. I love all the little things that actually allow you to stay disciplined and build resilience so you can then build the dream business and life that you have always wanted. Now, the thing that may be holding you back right now may actually be the fact that you're doing just too many things. There's too many opportunities. You're putting your energy into too many areas of your life. But maybe you have a business and you're not actually focusing on your zone of genius. And that's causing you to lose money in other areas because you're doing admin, you're doing this, you're doing 1,000 different jobs. And it's okay if you're a startup, but eventually you're going to find yourself in a bit of a hole, like I was. I was getting burnt out. I was stressed. I couldn't sleep. All these crazy things happened. And I got to a point where I got so burnt out. I was literally bedridden for 4 weeks. I couldn't walk because my joints and my lower back and my muscles literally gave way. So I decided, okay, I need to build the right habits to be able to build the business I want, plus have a better quality of life. Now, one question I really want you to ask yourself is, if there was nothing holding you back, not your finances, not your routine, not your family or relationships, not yourself, not your mindset, there was nothing holding you back, not your business, anything, what would your dream day look like? I asked myself this question a few years ago, and I hadn't asked myself this question in quite a while. So I wrote down everything that I would want to achieve for that day, but most importantly, what every hour of the day would look like if there was absolutely nothing holding me back. And it turned out to be very similar to what I was already doing, but just more disciplined and better structure. Because at that time, I was working super long days. I was going through a bodybuilding comp, working out for 3 hours a day. I was trying to build a business, keep a social life, and it was just all too much. So anyway, today I really want to take you through how you can plan the most productive week of your life. Now, I've used this framework for the last 4 or 5 years with my clients, and it literally takes you 5 minutes. I suggest you put it in your calendar every Sunday to plan your week efficiently. I'm going to take you through the process of how to do it. If you want the worksheet, you can just download it below. Otherwise, let's get into it. If you don't plan, you plan to fail. We've all heard that saying. But generally, if you do not roll out of bed every single morning and know exactly what you're doing, you're setting yourself up for failure. Even if it's to have lunch, go for a walk, set boundaries for yourself, finish work. Like, these things need to be all in your calendar. Once you learn to follow a calendar system, it makes your life so much easier, right? When you're a kid, you follow your parents around. They tell you to do this, so you do it, right? If you're disciplined and you're a good kid. That's the same with us. If we do not have something, especially if we're the boss and we are in our own business, telling us what to do next and it's all planned out, most probably you're not going to do it. Now, let's get into it. And I'll also give you little tips along the way. At the end of today, I'm going to take you through as well ways that you can 10x your productivity and kill procrastination for good that has worked for myself and worked for hundreds of my clients. So plan your week for success. I want you to use this template. Again, if you're listening to this, you can just download it below. Firstly, you want to actually distinguish business and personal. So grab a paper and pen if you don't want to use this template and write down all your business priorities, literally everything. So we're talking about weekly. So it's a Sunday, you've had a great weekend. You're like, okay, I'm going to plan my week. Grab a paper and pen, draw a line in the middle of your page. On the left-hand side, write down all your business priorities and opportunities. On the right-hand side, write down all your personal. Now, personal could be get to the gym 5 days a week, catch up with X, Y, and Z on Wednesday. Business opportunities. They may be, all right, I've got to send invoices and emails on this day. I've got to create a meeting with Amanda. I know, I'm just making this stuff up, guys, but write down everything that needs to be done, right? For business, personal. Now, next to each one, what you're going to do is write down how long each task is going to take. And be really reasonable with how long each task is going to take, and knowing yourself. And if you do procrastinate, how long is emails going to take? It actually allows you to see how long you're spending on each task. Could we maybe delegate it? We're going to get to delegating, outsourcing, and automating soon. But write down next to each task how long each one is going to take. This will allow you to then put it into your calendar super easy, because you'll know how long each time block will be. After that, you want to pretty much circle what's important. Well, not circle what's important. We're actually going to do that on our daily. So I'm going to teach you how to plan your days as well today. What I would like you to do is label from 1 to 10, or how many tasks there are, 1 being most important and 1 priority, to then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and do it for each. So business and personal, right? Now, what I would suggest with important, really start with your money-making activities. If you're a business owner, what is generating you the most income? What is allowing you to work on the business, not in the business? That needs to be made priority first. Delegate, automate, or outsource. Now, I love this one. Ask yourself, in the personal business category, is there anything I can delegate, anything I can give to somebody else? Get it off your shoulders. Personal, it might be, all right, I'm going to pay someone to wash my car and mow the lawn this week, so I can then work on marketing. Business, it might be emails. Spending 3 hours a week day on emails, and you're not getting any work done and you're procrastinating. Maybe it's time to delegate it. Automate. What can you automate? Make your life easier. Automate your content. Automate email responses. How can you outsource? How can you get someone else to do a specific task and outsource it? So that is a template to plan your weeks for success. Now, it doesn't just stop there, and you don't just write it down and leave it there and hope for the best. But what you're going to need to do is open up your calendar, if it's a Google Calendar, Outlook calendar, and what you want to do is put it in there as time blocks. Once it's in there as time blocks, you can then follow a strict calendar schedule, which will allow you to then have something to look forward to. You know what you're doing. You're going to procrastinate less, and you're going to be way more productive. Now, I just want to say this. Manage your time, or it will manage you. So this is the biggest problem business owners have when they come to me. They say, Holly, I've got all these things I plan, and then I just don't get it done. I just procrastinate, or something comes up. What do I do? And it becomes a habit to procrastinate. Number one, it is a habit, right? We're going to just do it out of nowhere. It is a habit. And you can train yourself to undo that habit. And I'm going to show you how to at the end of today's training. But what you're going to have to do is learn to actually manage your time by, if something comes up, you have to pick your kids up from school, or you're stuck on the phone for half an hour, or I don't know, something comes up, right? You don't get something specific done. You've got to learn and train yourself and create a habit to move that time block to a different time block, right? And not just leave it there for weeks and think, oh, yeah, I remember I was supposed to call that person that time, and it's been like 2 weeks. So make it a habit to really move your calendar invites, and move it to a different day, move it to a different time, and make that a constant habit. Otherwise, your calendar is going to be a mess and you'll forget. Plan your days for success. So we're going to use a very similar template, or the same template, but just in a daily format. So at the end of every day, what I'll get my clients to do is send me end-of-day reports. So they'll send me end-of-day reports with specific questions, and this keeps them accountable, allows me to hold them accountable. Most importantly, we ask specific questions like, what went well today, what didn't go well, how can we help someone else tomorrow, and lots of other things. But the main focus is to plan your days and have 3 most important tasks for the next day, 1 to 3. You don't want a to-do list anymore. You don't want 10 things to do. You want 1 to 3 most important tasks. We call them MITs here at 30 Days to Happiness. So at the same time, every day at the end of your day, so it might be 5 p.m., I would suggest to do it once you finish work, because that will then create a clean cutoff time for you to finish. So business priorities, do exactly the same thing. Write down all your business priorities for the next day. Personal, and write down how long each one's going to take you. Circle your top 3 most important ones and maybe label them in importance. And then ask yourself, can I delegate this, automate this, or outsource this? Now, what you want to do is circle your 3 most important tasks in business and personal, put them in your calendar, and then they're your 3 MITs for the day. And make a habit to move them if they don't get done. So let us give you our proven formula to build the best year of your life. So we help people and business owners to build the best year of their life and stop their business from controlling them, right? A lot of the time we put all our energy and effort and time into building a business, and we forget that we actually do have control of building the life that we want. So if you want to speak with one of our team members from 30 Days to Happiness about our happiness formula method, then just click that link below. You can book a call with one of our team members. We'll pretty much just discover what's holding you back. It's completely free. What's holding you back? What needs to happen for you to then create the dream life and business you have always wanted? Most importantly, how can our formula actually help you? So click that link below if you'd like to book in a session completely for free. Now, my favorite part, how can we 10x your productivity and kill procrastination for good? I'm going to give you my top 8 tips. Are you ready? Let's go. Number 1, plan every hour of the day. Now, if you don't know what you're doing every hour of the day, you really don't know what you're doing. A lot of people will come to me and I'll ask them, all right, what are you doing between 9 and 10 o'clock? And they'll say, I'm just working. All right, well, what are you actually doing? Like, oh, I'm just working, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, you're not actually doing anything because you don't know what you're doing, right? And I've lived by that philosophy for years. So every day or night around 5 p.m., I want you to create your own end of day report and plan your day. So you know that daily template that we went through before? You can use that template, but try and do it at the same time every single day so it becomes a habit, and that is your cutoff from work. Grab it out, grab your Google Calendar out or your Outlook or whatever you use, and make sure that you know what you're doing every hour of the day and all your priorities are in there. If exercise is a priority and a value to you, make sure it's in there. If money-making activities, make sure they're in there. Lunchtime, looking after yourself, family time, make sure they're all in your calendar. You should know what you're doing every hour of the day, even if it's lunchtime or resting or reading or whatever, right? Follow the calendar system and it will help you to build a habit, stay disciplined, live the life that you want, right? Discipline equals freedom. Number 2, stick to the MIT rule, the 3 MIT rule. MIT stands for most important task. Now, you don't want a to-do list. You don't want 10 things to do every day. It will overwhelm you and it will never get done. Let's be honest, we're human beings. Pick 3 personal and 3 business related priorities and tasks. So what you might want to do is only pick 1. If 3 is too much for you, they should not take any longer than 30 minutes to an hour each, right? So if 3 business and 3 personal are going to take you 6 hours and that's all you have to do for the day, that's 6 hours of personal professional work that you get done. If it's going to take you longer than that, then maybe only stick to 1 to 2 MITs per day. But these tasks must be done. Otherwise, the ball does not move forward the next day. That's what most important tasks are. So that's point number 2. Point number 3, do your MMA at the most productive part of the day. Now, you may be thinking, mixed martial arts, I don't understand. MMA stands for money-making activities or money-generating activities, you can say. So these are the things that are actually going to bring in the money if you're a business owner, right? So what you want to do is write a list of tasks that there really actually shouldn't be many at all, right? If you're a business owner and you should be working on the business, not in the business, and you want to get out of that rut, write down everything that makes you the most money in your money-making activities. Emails, invoices, yeah, they need to be done, but they're not things that are going to bring the business to where it needs to be. Next, think about a time within the day you know you are most productive. Now, you've really got to know yourself for this. Think about when you have the most energy. If you are not a morning person, then why would you wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get stuck into a money-making activity? You can train yourself to do that. There is nothing wrong with that. But why would you put yourself in that position knowing that you're going to procrastinate, probably fall asleep in your chair and not work efficiently when you know you can work better at 6 p.m., right? Or if you're a morning person and you really don't do well past 3 o'clock in the afternoon, like I do, then wake up early and get it done, right? Put your MMA task in that time block, and then all I want you to do is start building your other tasks around it. So number 3 was to do your money-making activities at the most productive part of the day that you know you're going to be most productive. Wake up at the same time every single day. Now, this is crucial because your body is like a clock. Set your alarm for the same time every single day if you can, Monday to Friday to get started with. And if you want to do the weekends, you can go for that. But the thing is, your body is like a clock. And if you train your body and your brain to wake up at the same time every single day, you will wake up with energy, right? You can train your brain and your body to do absolutely anything. So what will happen is you'll start waking up a little bit before your alarm. Do this for a few weeks and you will actually start waking up with so much energy to get started on your money-making activities or go to the gym or have more time in the day to do the things that you want to do. So wake up at the same time every single day. That will make you way more productive. Number 5, get clear on your SOP, system operating procedure, for a time block. So do you know exactly what you're doing when you need to work on a specific task? You know how we were talking about getting to know like what you're doing every other day? Now you need to know what you're actually doing within that time block. So what you can do is actually write a little SOP for yourself. You can write down a to-do list. Okay, so between 9 and 10 o'clock, I've got to do my content for the week, plan my content for the week. All right, so what is the step-by-step process for you to complete that time block? So that's what I would suggest you do. Google Calendar is great because you can create the time block and then in the description, you can create your SOP or your to-do list or your step-by-step process. Like I said, the thing is, if you don't know what you're doing, you're not really doing anything and you have every reason to procrastinate, right? We're trying to kill procrastination. So do yourself a favor, get really clear on what you're doing within each time block. Number 6, getting super clear on the end goal with a deeper reason why. Now, if you don't have a reason why and there's no, I guess, end result in your head and you're looking at it daily, then you're going to procrastinate. And I really believe that we shouldn't be attached to a specific outcome, but it's really important that we do know what an outcome looks like and we do have that to motivate us. When you're a kid and pretty much you'll do anything to get a lollipop. So let's just say your parents like, oh, hey, I'll give you a lollipop if you do the dishes and clean your room and be really kind to your siblings. That's just an example I use. Having a deep enough reason why to finish a task attached to a big goal is absolutely crucial to kill your procrastination. And it's very similar to wanting that lollipop, right? So that's a reward. So what I really suggest, and this is what I do with my clients, to kill procrastination and remind yourself of why you're doing what you're doing, we go through a process where we help you create your 10-year vision, right? And that is the 10-year vision and goal. It can change over time, 100%. But if you have a vision of building your dream house like I do, I stick that on my wall and I know I look at it and why I'm working so hard and why I don't want to procrastinate today. You can grab your phone, put on your lock screen, a photo of, I don't know, something specific. You want to go traveling, you want to go to Greece, I don't know. What's the goal and what's the reason that's going to get, what's going to get you out of bed every morning to stop procrastinating? What's going to stop you from procrastinating? Have a big vision, stick on your wall. Images are really awesome. We can visualize it, but actually seeing them around gets us excited. Number 7, we created a productivity trigger. So I did this with one of my clients, and I do it with myself. Pretty much a trigger is something that is like your habit stacking towards a specific task. So a productive trigger is something you do or a place that allows you to associate your deep work session with productivity. A lot of things I suggest is to light a candle, drink a cup of coffee or a cup of water at the same time, in the same place, in the same location, and that is your productive trigger. When I was waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning and literally working for 2 hours straight with my black coffee, I was crazy. But this is when I was working quite like long days, but I was really productive. So I did have quite flexibility as well. And I would wake up, I'd put my candle on, I'd sit there with my coffee and I'd get 2 hours of work done. That would probably later in the day, if I slept through that and didn't create that productive trigger, would probably take me 5 hours. So you're actually cutting time in half. And this is a really great habit that we, and this whole system that we're talking about today is what I'll use for people who are struggling to cut down their hours. So let's just say they're working 80 hours a week and they want to work 40. This system that we're using today really works well. So for you, you might want to habit stack, I don't know, like let's just say you're procrastinating on studying, right? You're studying for something and you're really procrastinating. Pick the same time, the same location with the same habit and use that time and train your brain and your body to associate that as your productivity trigger. I've been personally using this process for 5 years now. I have no clue actually where I found this. I've just always done it for the last 5 years. But you're training yourself to be productive with the help of a trigger. Change your environment. Number 8, this is the last one, and this is really crucial, especially if you're working from home or you're an entrepreneur or someone who just maybe is stuck in a bit of a rut. If you're working from home, or procrastinating is very, very common. So think about it. You eat, sleep, work, and relax all in the same place. Your brain and your body can get kind of confused what it wants to do, right? If you're in your bedroom, you're studying, you're sleeping, you're eating, you're working, you're doing it all in the same room or the same household, your body's going to be like, what the heck? And your brain will not understand what it's supposed to do. So I really suggest you change up your environment. Keep your productive location the same, like when you're doing your most important task with your trigger, but train yourself to be productive in different workplaces as well. So you can, if your productive trigger is drinking water, bring that same drink bottle to the cafe, or go outside into the sun and tell yourself that I'm going to do a money-making activity once a day. Coffee shops are great because you're surrounded by other people's energy. If you like that, everyone's completely different. But I can really sit into a cafe and get heaps of work done. So it's just an idea. Now, here are a few testimonials of people that we've worked with that have adapted this, and it's worked wonders. Caroline says, it was like everything I had to do was so overwhelming, all in a big jumble. Working with Holly, we planned it out piece by piece, creating a plan, and worked on the areas of my life step by step. Anthony, I loved working with Anthony. He pretty much worked 9 to 5, built an awesome business whilst working 9 to 5, ran a marathon and still, and gave up alcohol all at the same time. And he did really well. He says, when we met almost a year ago, I was looking to create better habits. I held him accountable to stick to an amazing routine, turn his ideas into building a business into a reality. And these steps that we talked about today helped him do that. Chastity, I love Chastity. Shout out to you. She has lost, I think she's almost at 60 pounds now, which is shout out to her. But here it says 50. She lost 50 pounds, and from all the change of her lifestyle and making the decision to put herself first, she pretty much changed her daily routine, adapted specific habits and action steps to start building her dream life. And now she's building the business. She's got all these amazing opportunities. She's manifesting. That's the thing. When you put yourself in an environment and a place to challenge and change, all these opportunities come. It's really exciting. Scott, he helped him with business development and to be able to actually, get started and getting clear on the habits he needed to build his business. He says, if you want to learn how to optimize your time, I highly recommend working with Holly through the steps to make it happen. Pia, shout out to you. You're awesome. He says, Holly has also guided me on time management and developing a different mindset that focuses on making better choices to support my goals. Shout out to Pia. He's had so many opportunities over the last few months, and it's all slowly coming together, which is really exciting. And shout out to Phil. In 6 months, I've had Holly as an accountability partner. I have not only been able to bring my goals and vision to the fore, but I have been able to do so with amazing clarity. Shout out to you, Phil. So lastly, if you would like to talk to myself or a member of my team where we can actually start planning out what the best year of your life would look like and the best year of your business could look like with work-life balance, and see how a happiness formula could work for you, then just click that link below, find a time that works for you completely for free. We just want to see if we can help you, and there's no harm in that. So I hope you enjoyed today's training. Have a fabulous day. And if you haven't got your copy of 30 Days to Happiness, I'll put the link in the bottom too for you guys to purchase the book. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.